So it's currently 10:10 p.m. or 10:15 p.m. and I had just an inclination to bake. I've been craving a lot of sugary stuff, I think. Actually, that's not even true. I don't know why I said that. But tonight, I think I was craving something sugary. I was like, what better than to eat something sugary, but also make said sugary thing. So, okay, backstory. My sister and I both have like dietary restrictions. My sister is gluten-free and I am vegan. It's hard to like get things that taste similar to that sometimes, like at home, if you're not like really good at baking, or if you don't have the patience to do some of the things, or like if you're not gonna get these obscure like ingredients. But 2 weeks ago, we found this really good recipe that like the whole family loved. My dad and his girlfriend are not vegan or gluten-free, but they loved it, and that's basically it. I just wanted to make it again, and I thought, what better way to make it than with friends, you guys, because I'm lonely. And it's a little bit less like weird to talk to yourself if you're talking to a camera than just yourself. So I was also really nervous to actually try this recipe because all of the comments were like, oh, this made a lot of brownies and this was like good, but you know, these brownies have no integrity. And I think what they meant was like, oh, these brownies don't really like hold well together. But like, I don't know, I thought it was so funny that they were like, these brownies have no integrity. So my sister sent me the link to the recipe, and I guess I'll put the link to this in the description. Wait, let me read one of the comments. I love reading comments on like Yelp or like any recipe things. Like people who leave comments just always have the best content. They were like, where is it? No. You need vegan buttercream in this, and they tell you an alternate way to like make this without like vegan buttercream that actually comes pre-packaged at the store, but I don't even have any of those things or vegan buttercream, but it does not matter because you can just use non-dairy milk. Oh, I have to okay, oh my god, this is already so like, preheat the oven to 350. Okay, easy enough. I'm gonna go do that. Oh, sorry, I tripped. Okay, perfect. Prepare a 9 by 9 inch square baking dish by, okay, yeah. This is 9 by 9 by 2. Great. So I'm gonna list out the ingredients that we need. We need gluten-free all-purpose flour, unsweetened cocoa powder, white sugar, baking powder, salt, instant coffee powder, vegan buttermilk, coconut oil, vanilla extract, and chocolate chips. So I'm gonna go get all these ingredients. So basically I just got all the ingredients. I don't really feel like showing them all at once, but I'll just show them as I go, mostly because this is not really a tutorial. I'm not trying to tell you how to make your brownies. I'm just showing you how I'm making these brownies. So I just washed my hands because hygiene. So I have this bowl, and what I need to do first is add the gluten-free all-purpose flour. I just got this one, and I need how much of that? I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to this. Wild. 2 cups of all-purpose gluten-free flour, so I'm gonna add that. I used to be the type who like, I'm definitely a stress baker. When I went to high school, I'm a freshman in college right now, or a rising sophomore. But when I went to high school, at our high school, you can leave campus as a senior, and I live really close to my high school. Like I can walk to my high school. I used to get like, I'm not that good at math. Like I personally, I don't know if I have a vendetta against math or if math has a vendetta against me, but personally, like math and me are not best friends. We're like frenemies at best. I used to get not so great grades in math. Like overall I would get fine grades, but I would like tank some quizzes. Like there would be just like periods of time where I genuinely like would not be doing well in math. And one time I got like a really bad failing grade on a math test or quiz, can't remember which. And I just remember leaving school and walking home and like stress baking vegan cookies, and that's the type of mood I'm in right now. Like, I'm not stressed about anything particular, but like I feel like just baking is the answer right now. I'm realizing, like, thinking about it, that story made no sense and was kind of pointless. I might even take it out, but that's a lot of work. Okay, cocoa powder too. You need 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. Great. So we have this organic cocoa powder. This is like their Whole Foods line. Okay, like I messed up, but not that bad. So here's what happened. We can fix this, but I'll be honest, I am not doing so well off the bat. I didn't realize that I thought I was using a 1/2 cup, but I've been using a 1/3 cup, so I need 2 more of these for the flour, and then I need, oh no, I forgot what I've been doing. Oh well. Well, we'll see if this works. 2 cups of white sugar. Just using this. This is from Trader Joe's. I recently have been, not recently, I've always loved Trader Joe's. We just don't really have one, like, it's near our house, but like you have to really want to go to Trader Joe's to go to this Trader Joe's. Okay, let me focus on this. How many cups? 2 cups? 1. Count with me. 2, 3. Oh god, this is like all over the. And I need 1. Oh my god, I need 3 more of these? It's a lot of sugar. Lord. Oh, was I even supposed to add the sugar right now? Yeah, I was supposed to. Oh god, I need 2 more of these. I need to start paying attention to what I'm doing. Wait. Okay, so it's never, I had to check the footage to see how many cups of sugar I've already done. And FYI, I feel like it's never a good sign in baking. If you're ever wondering how you're doing, you're not doing well if you have to go check footage to see how many cups of sugar you've put in. We're gonna get a little thing. So I'm gonna just like start stirring this in. Then I have to add, I think, the baking powder next. Baking powder, salt, and coffee powder. So I don't have coffee powder here because I kind of just get like these things of cold brew. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of adding coffee powder into the dry ingredients, I'm just gonna add a little bit of cold brew into the wet ingredients, because apparently I'm a genius. Okay, so what do we need? Baking powder. Okay, this is baking powder. Yeah, so we have some baking powder, some normal run-of-the-mill baking powder. Ooh, this is already smelling good for no reason. See, the thing with baking is it's like good and bad. How many of these do we need? 1.5 tablespoon TSP? ESPN. 1, 2 more of these. What was I saying? The thing with baking that's so different from cooking is like, you gotta be pretty exact with baking, or like try your best to be pretty exact, which is something I'm really bad at. But another thing about baking and cooking that are so different is the fact of, like, with cooking, you know, I find myself like eating the ingredients as I go along. But with baking, that would be really odd. Like, you can't do that unless you're making cookie dough. A lot of people do. That's not true though. Actually, a lot of people do eat brownie mix. I remember being young and going to someone's house, and I was shocked that they ate the brownie mix, mostly because I was never allowed to, because like back then when I ate eggs, like, were they worried about salmonella or something from like raw eggs? They were worried about something. But also what shocked me was not only were they eating like raw batter that I was never allowed to eat, it was also the fact that like they just like used, I don't know, like they were really unhygienic about it. And I was still pretty young too, so I don't know why it bothered me so much, because like I was what, 6, 5? I was probably grosser in real life than that, but like something about, I feel like they like put their hand in it and then continued baking with the hand that they licked, and I was like, we're gonna eat those, like I'm gonna eat that too. Again, this is another story that I have no idea where I was going with it, but I guess like that's kind of the story period. Okay, so what's after baking powder? Okay, 1 tablespoon of salt. Maybe this is why no one wants to bake with me, because I feel like some people are like really interesting when they bake, and they're like, or they look super cool and professional doing it. Oh, I feel like this is not a good idea to be pouring it, measuring it over the, yeah, this is a terrible idea, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Remember how I said baking was a science? Or maybe I never said that, but baking's a science. And what I'm doing is not that. Okay, so once I put all that salt, it was like a tablespoon of salt, mix it together, and I have to put in how much of the soy milk? So we're using rice milk, and I think I need a cup of this. Okay, so 1, I'm gonna actually pay attention to this. 1, 2, okay, so I've done 2. I need 1 more. So like keep track of that for me, but I wanna like mix it in because I hate when it's all like, you know, you just gotta, don't try to mix all the wet ingredients in at once. I'm saying this like I'm actually an expert, but I feel like that makes sense. I really want to go on like a cooking show because I feel like, man, it just seems so fun and like stressful, but fun. But I'm wondering, like, I guess it's kind of like being a celebrity, you just like have a plethora of songs you remember from your own. So I guess that's doable, but you know, bakers, it's so insane when they go on those shows. It's like they give you a random recipe thing that you have to know, and then they just like remember the technique. That's wild. I would need a recipe. God, what else do I need to put in? Oh, like everything. Okay, so I'm not gonna do a tablespoon of cold brew just because no. So I'm just gonna do like 1 teaspoon of it. Like, you know, cold brew kind of has a distinct taste, and I don't want to make this cold brew brownies. So then, I don't really know why I'm adding it in if I don't want the taste to be there, but it's a thought that counts. Okay, 1 cup of coconut oil. This little beauty. You know what my favorite hobby is my sister and I love to watch good bad movies. Like, my least favorite type of movie is a mediocre movie. If this is a cup, right? Because that means I have to sit there and like kind of take the movie seriously. Bad. It's just like uncomfortable to watch because you know that you're technically supposed to be taking this movie seriously. But when a movie is just genuinely so bad that you're like, oh, this is great because it's like comedy at this point. No matter what the genre was first, it is now a comedy. Like, those are my favorite type of movies. That and Hallmark movies. Although Hallmark movies are very white, so I'm always looking for like diverse Hallmark movies. I want to make one, first of all. But in general, I like the vibe of Hallmark movies. Like, busy working woman slows down for like something and then finds like love and tranquility in a small area, which, first of all, I think it's like small town propaganda. Like, that's who's making this, which, fine, I love the idea of a small town. But is it because I'm in love with the idea of like a Hallmark movie? Questions. But what was I gonna say? Oh my god, this new movie but it is that like Hallmark vibe. It's called Falling in Love, and like it's like falling INN, like as an in, like a bed and breakfast type of thing. It's about this girl who like lives in San Francisco, and like god, her life like just falls apart in 2 days. The company like goes bankrupt or something, and then that same week she like realizes that her sucky ass boyfriend, her sucky boyfriend is trash, like literal trash. Okay, because get this man pre-ordered, and it was supposed to be like, oh, he's really controlling, and like that's what it was supposed to show. But all I got from it was like he pre-ordered the food. He was like, oh, my assistant call in and order it for us. But then the scene in that scene, they don't have their food yet. And my only thing is like, yeah, it's supposed to be, oh, he's a terrible boyfriend because like he's making her have salad and like controlling what she eats and that type of stuff, and that is terrible. But in my eyes, if you're gonna do that, can you at least like make sure that the food is there? Why would you pre-order food from a restaurant and then it not be there? At that point, you should have just ordered at the restaurant. Like, what is pre-ordering if it's not like, I don't understand that. Next, add vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon. Let me go get that. Okay, so it's gonna be, oh no, I don't know where that is. All right, oh, this always smells so good. How much is it? 1 teaspoon, so 1 more of this. But, you know, vanilla extract is like the biggest like lie as a child. Like, I know you all know what I'm talking about, when like you used to love the smell of vanilla extract, and like every time you knew it tasted bitter. Well, not the first time, because it smells so good. You're like, oh, it must taste good. It tastes terrible, makes you want to gag. But then every time you're like, oh, but what if this time for some reason it tastes good, and you fall into that trap. So basically it's a life lesson, you know, just because don't look at people through a rose-colored glass. That's the saying, right? I don't know. Okay, I'm just adding chocolate chips, like a lot of them, to get that like gooey vibe. And I think I'm gonna line the baking sheet, or like the pan, and then I'm basically done. And I'm gonna put them in the oven for 40 minutes. And brownies take a long time to cook, but you know, the longer you cook, the better you are, or something. Okay, so I need some grease. I'ma canola oil this up. Okay, so basically I don't have that like spray thing, so I'm just gonna like, oh no, I made the table messy. Like, oh, I don't know why they're telling me to like grease it, but then also line it with parchment paper. It's just an odd mix of events, because usually if you grease the pan, you don't have to line it. But I don't ask questions with recipes, I just follow them. Parchment paper. What's that like? Okay, now I just need to do it. I just need to. Oh, I feel like that's not what it's supposed to. Okay, you can't really, basically just like spreading it out. I want them to kind of be even in like every aspect. And I'm gonna put this in the oven for 40 minutes. Just do that. Okay, let's set a timer. And I'm gonna go clean up this kitchen, but when we come back, we'll have some hopefully good looking brownies. If not, this video will not see the light of day, and we'll never know. So. Okay, so damn, look at these brownies. I'm gonna put my fork in it to see. You have to bring it out, and if there's any like, no, there should only be melted chocolate. Let me try another area. Okay, great, I'm gonna leave it in there for a bit. Okay, they are looking spectacular. I'm gonna leave them until the cooling in the pan for like, I think it's like 5 minutes the recipe says or something, and then I'm gonna take it out with the lining paper and put it onto like a cooling rack so it can cool outside of the baking pan. Yeah, and they smell impeccable. And they look literally so freaking good, like what the hell? I kind of love my brownies like crispy like that, so I'm gonna just let them still cool down, but this way they won't get like super burnt. So yeah, this has been baking with Ari. Yeah, there's really nothing else to say. Honestly, you should really make these. Like, this is not the first time I've made them, and I know they're super delicious. And if I can make it, you can make it, we all can make it.